Okay, I'm overexcited because this just continues my journey of dropping everything in the game, right? That's a goal I have for Path of Exile. I want to drop every rare item. I've already dropped mirrors, right? Actually, I think mirrors are the only thing. I haven't really dropped any T0 or T1 uniques before. And then I see this fucking thing on the floor right next to it. And I'm like, ring. I'm like, what the fuck does it mean, ring? I'm like, why doesn't it have a type? I did not know that Calandra's touch did not. Well, fuck. I can't put that in the results, dude. But I did not know that that just counted as ring. I didn't know it didn't have a type of ring. Yo, what's up, guys? Joker bringing you another video for the 3.23 Affliction League. So, with everyone else running the T7 cemeteries, I wanted to continue to bring you guys currency making methods that are not that because everybody is doing that. It's insanely expensive. Plus, I tried it. It's really, yes, it is rewarding, but it is super annoying to set up properly. You have to make sure you min max your damage to a point where you don't one shot the Abyss Spire, and it's a lot, right? And I'm more of a casual like blaster, right? Just out can go pretty much majority of the time. So that's why I like bringing strategies like this that are equally as good, but they are a lot lower barrier of entry than because for the Abyss, you honestly really need a headhunter to do it in like 8 modded maps. You have to have a headhunter to do it in 8 modded maps, I swear. Those mobs are just so tanky and they hit so hard that you need a headhunter to really do that effectively. So, going to continue bringing the methods that you can use to farm up until that headhunter. So, let's take a look at the method. So, it is going to be Harvey boxes, right? We are going to be using Harbinger, Ghost, and Strong boxes. And that's essentially it. The reason for this is because fracturing orbs are at an outstandingly high 21 div per fracturing orb. And that, in my opinion, is insane because fracturing shards are 1 div each. And you can drop bulk fracturing shards. I think the most I've ever dropped in a single drop was 6. So that'd be like almost 7 div of fucking currency in one drop. And the sextants, if we go to POE stack, POE stack, if we go over to POE stack, right? The compasses for a Harvey is super fucking cheap. And then the compasses to just add 2 additional strong boxes is also super cheap. All in all, for these 40 maps, it was for the sextant on its own, it was only like 190 seat. It wasn't even a div. So I would literally only need to drop 1 fracturing shard in the 40 maps to pay back my sextants, right? Everything else is going to be the fact that scarabs are super expensive, and that's why we're running strong boxes. If we go to PoE Ninja, right, and we take a look at the scarabs, they are all pretty much increased by at least 50%. And this isn't even like the gilded or the winged. The stacks of these scarabs are kind of stupid in price, right? So that's why we have scarabs there. And then same thing here with the dunes. I'm able to sell these for 7 to 8C in bulk. So we're farming maps, we're farming fracturing shards, we're farming scarabs, and we'll do the wildwood because it just makes all of these more rewarding. Oh, and we're farming the fortunate card. So this is like a layer on layer on layer farm, and it's super cheap. I mean, 10 div for 40 maps is insanely cheap for the amount of profit we'll pull out of it. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so here we are at 10 maps in. We have dropped 4 raw divines, let alone all the other currency. We've dropped 1 fortunate, 7 ancient orbs, 1 exalted orb, and 8 annuls. So, all in all, we are really, 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 really good on making our profit back. Okay, so this is for the pure reference of the Dunes maps actually selling. When I was going ahead and running these, um, I figured I'd throw a bunch of them in here to sell, and I think it's been 15 minutes or something. That's not enough. He said 27, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27, and he is buying them for 8C each. So this is a divine on its own for 27 maps, dude. That's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. He's probably just going to throw a divine in there, isn't he? Oh, a divine and 1C. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. There you go, buddy. And yeah, see? Maps sell. All right, so we are effectively halfway done, right? We're 20 maps deep and we have 20 left to go. As of right now, we've found 6 divines. We've only gotten 1 fracturing shard, which is kind of unlucky, but I have it right here next to the divine just because of the fact that it's worth a divine, right? So we got 19 orbs of annulment, 7 exalts, and then 12 ancient orbs, right? We also have 9 fortunate, so we almost have another 2 divines here, and we found a replica Dragon's Fangs Flight. Apart from that, the rest of the loot is literally just currency. So there's no way that it can be miscalculated because it's literally just currency. So that's kind of funny. Reminds me back of the good old NIM 3 days when it's you can't misvalue it because it's currency. It has its raw value. I'm not really selling much here. I'm probably just going to be reusing this and just taking out like divines, annuls, exalts, and ancient orbs, right? Everything else is probably going to be infinitely sustaining itself. If we have POE stack over here, it's saying it's worth roughly 17 divines, and that is an incredibly, incredibly, incredibly low estimate. The reason why is I'm unchecking everything, right? The alterations, which are 80C on their own, which will sell if I try to sell them. And then we have all the mapping materials, right? I keep my chromes because I change builds and characters a lot, so I need a lot of chromes to recolor like all my gear and shit. So I have all the chromes. The sextants obviously wouldn't count towards it. The fusings I could sell once again, but I use my fusings. I try to 6 link shit. Um, Vols for mapping, sextants, unmaking orbs would sell. These chaos dispositions, I'm actually going to go ahead and cash in because for some reason it's counting these as like a weird value since they're 5C, but it's saying they're 8C. So, but that's that. But majority of the junk I am having unchecked. So this 17 div is a very conservative estimate of how much currency we've made so far, and that's pretty dope. And there we have it. 40 maps completed. So we're going to go ahead and jump out, and then we're going to jump back in, and we're going to pull over the POE stack and see what it looks like. All right. So it looks like 27 div. So we made not only 17 div of profit, we made technically like 53 because the Calandra's touch that I'm not going to include, but that was like 37 div on its own, right? So we made 27 div total. Now, this is a very subjective amount because of the fact that it is extremely low, right? I set this up in a way where I'm pretty much not including 90% of stuff that I can totally sell, but will that could artificially inflate the price, right? So the only things that are showing are things that I definitely could sell, but I'm going to be using. Everything else that people would say wouldn't normally sell, I took them off. And that includes like rusted scarabs, which would totally sell, but that way I can, lowball what the actual profit is. So so from the base cost initially on its own, we have 6 divines and 6 fracturing shards. This would be 12 divines in its own. Okay. So, regardless of if you don't count any of the other loot, we made 2 div profit. If you do not count anything else in this tab, and these fracturing shards are still going up, they're already at 1.1. Look at that spike. Like these are already showing at like 200 right here. So I have a feeling that fracturing shards and fracturing orbs are just going to keep going up because no one is buying them. And the sextants are so cheap. Do I have any left in here? I don't. Damn. Wait, it's not called Harpy, it's called Harbinger. Okay, yeah, no, I don't have any more sextants left. I was gonna price check it, but it's like 12C a sextant, dude. It's super cheap for the turnaround of for 190C, which was the total cost of my sextants. I was able to get 6 divs. Even if you just do the Harvey sextant, right? You're going to get pretty much 6 divs back in raw currency, no ifs, ands, or buts, let alone all of the ancient orbs, exalts, and nulls, all of those that are totally going to be sellable, and I am going to sell them. But yeah, I just want to emphasize that this is not inflated like at all. I've shown where I sell the maps, so I've shown that the maps do sell. The rest of it is literally raw currency. Like it would be just converting it into divines by setting like buy orders for divines, because you never want to go to the trade site and do a reverse search because people are going to lowball the shit out of you. You just want to do a sell order with it and people will usually buy it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We made a whopping, what, 53-ish divines from this video. I went ahead and I bought myself a fancy new lightning coil. And then I also bought my last awakened gem, right? So this character is no longer budget. Going forward, the strategies are going to show that as well, but I have shown you how to go from 3 divines to 50 plus. If I price check this character right now, I would say it's around maybe 60 divines, right? The bow's like 7 or 8 div. This double multi quiver, even if you just take double multi and life, it's like 20 div. So that's 30 div. If we just price check the awakened gems, that's 3, that's 9, that's 4. Yeah. So, and the lightning coil with the damage was 14. So, this isn't a budget character anymore. And the strategies going forward are going to reflect that. Now that it's less of a budget character and it's able to do stronger content, we're able to juice harder. And that's going to be what we show in the next couple of videos. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. Until next time, take care.